Hello, my beautiful mystic hearts. Welcome to today's love reading. Okay, so I do have to start to say, my little tiny YouTube following that I have here, that I have been missing in action in the last couple of days. And that's purely because I've had a few things that I've had to work through on my own journey. And I've really had to have a couple of days out just to really take time for myself. So, that's where I've been, but I'm definitely back on board and I'm feeling much better about things. So, if you are sort of wondering where I've been, that's where I have been. I'm like we're actually all on this journey together. So, so I've had my own things to be working through, but I am back on board. So let's get straight into it. It is really good to be sitting back down at this desk again, I have to say. So I'm actually really quite looking forward to doing this reading with you. So we're going to get straight into it. So I'm just going to pick up the Love Oracle this morning. I will probably be tapping into the Divine Feminine. Considering I have the first deck that I was called to pick up this morning was these little pink cards. So let's get into it. So I was hearing that you are surrendering to the journey. That's what I was hearing as I was preparing for this reading this morning. So let's see how it goes. Let's see where this reading actually takes us. So let's go into it. All right. So I'm just going to shuffle these cards as usual, just try to get the main collective into the energy and the main collective into these cards here. We've already got cards coming out and we've got abundance. So we've got keeping a positive mindset, manifest exactly what you want, gratitude, bliss. So I think that you are stepping into, I will actually split the deck properly, but I do feel like you are stepping into a really abundant frame of mind. Like I said, I was getting a real sense of release and surrender as I was sitting down to do this reading. So I think that this is really you. I think that you are really starting to understand what this journey is about, especially if you do identify with a divine counterpart. If you're tuning into this reading, then I'm sure that you do. That is what you're identifying with, is you're either divine feminine or divine masculine as well. A reminder as well that it doesn't really matter which meat vessel you're in. You either could be identifying with the divine masculine or the divine feminine. It just depends on what type of trauma you've got that you need to be healing out. As I said though, given that I have picked up these little pink cards, it probably is the divine feminine that I'm dealing with at the moment, and then we'll actually get down into the masculine as well. So we'll tap into their energy. But yes, but at the moment, yeah, just keeping a really abundant mindset at the moment. I do think that you are potentially also stepping into a very abundant time in your life as well. So I think not just with the relationships around you, but also in your pentacle path as well. I think that you are really stepping into a very abundant period. I'm just heard straight away that potentially you're just starting your own business. You might have just gotten quite a significant job offer as well. I just heard that. Why did I just hear that maybe a couple of you or whoever's listening to this reading that maybe you've got to move for this job offer? I just heard that you've actually got to. There's some distance here that you've got to go. So that will definitely be resonating with someone. But like I said, I definitely think you're surrendering to the journey and you're stepping into a very abundant path at the moment. But also to abundance with the relationships around you as well, is what I'm hearing. So let's keep going here. All right, and I'm going to split the deck just to get your overall ruling energy here. So straight away, we've got karmic relationship and we've got sword and a rose. So fleeting triggers turmoil, lessons letting go and loving you. So I think I'm hearing a couple of things for this. So firstly is that this is the karmic relationships or karmic cycles in your life that you're currently closing out. Like I said, I think that you are really starting to surrender to this journey now. You're really starting to understand what this journey is about, why you've been called to this path as well. And I think that this is really what you've been working on while you've been, I feel that you're probably in separation from your masculine, but you've been really working on closing out karmic cycles of late. I think that you are really stepping into your to self-empowerment, to self-love is really what I'm hearing. And that is then allowing you to step into this abundance as well. And I think for the very first time, or for the first time in a long time, you were really surrendering to the journey and just really understanding that none of the lessons that you've learnt, the ability that you have to deal with the karmic relationships in your life, that none of that would have come about if you hadn't actually, if this masculine, if this person hadn't actually come into your life. And then we've got sword and a rose. So we've got clarity, truth, revelation. I think that this is something you're still hoping for, that there is a revelation that's coming through. I think that maybe intuitively you might be able to feel that something is about to come through as well. But we do have the sword and the rose here, so it always reminds me of the ace of swords here, that real, that breakthrough as well. So I think that you're probably having a breakthrough around this connection. And for fear of repeating myself, but I think that these are the breakthroughs that you're having to do with your karmic relationships around your karmic situations, which are allowing you to step into this really abundant timeline, is what I keep hearing. I also, too, I'm not sure if something might have just come across your table as well. We will get down further into it and actually really tap into what this is. But potentially you're also waiting for this truth to come through. Or maybe a truth about a karmic relationship has just surfaced as well. I just heard that, so I'm going to say it. That something about a karmic relationship is really allowing you to go to a real state of release as well. But let's get further into it. All right, so as we said, abundance. I'm not going to take all of these because it's just way too many, but we do have Phoenix, so new phase, rekindle, renewed, transformation. You are currently going through a Phoenix phase at the moment, which is what we've been picking up on, which is why, of course, you're able to get into this really abundant mindset that you're in. But let's keep going here. So we've got act, separation. Let's get a few more. Oh, okay. And just one more, please. I've got them just flying out at me here. So we've got lightning. Then we've also got the snake. Yeah, I reckon maybe something has come through to your table. Maybe a revelation about that karmic relationship has actually come through to you. And one more. Then we've got healing heart. Okay, so this is just your top row here. So we will get some more cards to confirm, but let's just deal with this. So we've already spoken about the abundance that I feel that you're definitely stepping into. Like I said, it's not just with this, with your relationships, although I do think it's very much in the relationships around you. So friendships, family, work-wise, in your working relationships, but also just in your pentacle path, I think is, it's just a very abundant time for you. And I think that you're also learning as well gratitude. I just heard that very strongly, is that you have really got a lot of gratitude for everything that's around you at the moment. And that is really, like I said, gratitude's a funny thing. The more gratitude we tend to show for the things around us, then the more is actually released to us. It's kind of like this really, it's a funny dynamic the way that works. And I'm always reminded is that if you can't be grateful for what's around you, then why on earth would the universe or spirit or whoever you pray to, why on earth would they release anything more to you if you can't be grateful for what you've got right in front of you? And I think that that's really what is what's happening with you at the moment, is you are really just expressing a lot of gratitude for everything you have around you at the moment. But then we've got then the acts, right? So separation, stopping the pattern, silent treatment. This is, um, of course, confirming that there is a separation between you and your masculine. I think there has been a separation between you and the masculine for quite some time. But this is also you axing out those karmic relationships. That's what we were dealing with. That's what I split the deck on before, is that it's just really you during this time of separation with this masculine, is that you certainly haven't been sitting on your hands, right? You have really been working through your karmic ties, karmic relationships, situations in your life that no longer serve you, and you've really been moving on, learning how to stop those patterns, really stepping into far healthier ways of living, healthier ways of thinking, is what I was hearing as well. So, like I said, just a very abundant time in your life right now. We've then got this lightning card. So this is really interesting, and it's closely followed by the snake. All right. And it's funny because I opened up, when I first split the deck, I was getting through that message that you have just had a revelation about a karmic, about something's just come through to you. So I don't know if it's about this person or if it's more around, I'm hearing work straight away, but it also could be a friendship as well. But we've got snake here, so competition, enemy, looking over your shoulder, the other woman. This also could be I'm hearing like a feminine family member, something along those lines. But I think that something has just come across your table. I think we will get some more cards here to confirm this. But I think I'm hearing straight away too, because we've got healing broken heart, right? So freedom from relationships or addictions. I think that whatever this revelation is that's come across your table is really helping you to heal your heart. I definitely think that you are healing from this person, from this masculine on your mind. I think that there was a lot of heartbreak here. I think that the separation between the two of you was quite sudden, quite a bit like lightning. Um, but you've been, like I've said, you've been using this time to really heal that out. And whatever this revelation is that's happened, that's come across your table, this thing that you've found out, is really helping you to do that. It's really helping you actually close out a cycle in your life, because of freedom from toxic relationships. This also could refer to addictions as well. So addictions could actually have played a really big part in this connection. I'm hearing alcohol straight away, but it could be addictions of all sorts. It could have been other substance addictions. It could have been gambling as well. But whatever has come across, we will get into this further, but whatever has come across your table here is really helping you to move on, to close out karmic cycles, really helping you to heal. That's what I've heard. I don't think that something has come across your table from this. Well, maybe it was. Maybe it was actually something that's come across that you found out to do with your masculine. About someone here that you thought was quite close to you. I'm seeing girl with a snake, that real fake empath card. So something, yeah, you could have just found something out. All right, so we've got abundance here. Let's just get a couple more just to confirm this top row. We've got Cupid's arrow. So we've got have faith, love is coming, surprise invitational meeting. I don't think that this has come across. It's come across under abundance, right? So I think that this is what you are still hoping for. This is what you're keeping this positive mindset about, right? Is that you are now surrendering to this journey, and I think that you have faith that your masculine is still going to reach out to you. I think that this is what you are keeping this positive mindset about, is about this surprise invitation meeting. But I don't think that this is something that you are ruminating on. I think that this is something that you have actually let go I think that you are trying to keep a very positive mindset about it. I think that you've got a lot else going on around you in your life at the moment, especially with your Pentacle pass, that you are really focusing on at the moment. And I think maybe you're not focusing on this connection as much anymore, but I think that you are definitely still keeping faith that if this is your person, then ultimately they will be released back to you again, is what I'm hearing. All right, so then we've got acts and separation. Then we've got engagement, ring, so stopping, so engagement, partnership, commitment, completion, union. So you guys are definitely in separation, but I think, especially because we've got this Cupid's arrow here, I think that this is still something that you are hoping for. So you are in separation at the moment, but I think that ultimately you are still wanting this masculine to reach out to you, that this surprise invitation will come through, and ultimately it will end up leading to an engagement. I think this is what you're still waiting for. I don't, maybe you guys were engaged, although I don't know if you necessarily were. I think that this is more something that was potentially spoken about. Maybe not necessarily engagement, but maybe the promise of a serious commitment was actually spoken about here. But I think that just as quickly as this was spoken about, just as quickly as this came in, I think that you guys very quickly then went into separation again, which is, what caused this heartache with you. And also too, I'm just seeing that lightning card again straight away. So like I said, I think that just as quickly as this came in, like lightning, there was this lightning strike, like it left very, very quickly as well, this connection. You guys went into separation very quickly. But I do think that you are hoping for, or you've got faith in, a completion with this person, union. I think that's still very much on your mind. All right, so then we've got lightning. And it did come out, so the Phoenix. So it tried to come out before, and now it's coming through again. So we've got new phase, rekindle, transformation, growth, changed mind. So you're definitely phoenixing at the moment. And like I said, I think that whatever this news is, this revelation that you found out, this thing that's come through very quickly, is allowing you to phoenix, because we've got, this healing heart. You're moving into a new phase. I don't think this person has just reached out to you, or I did just hear out that maybe I just did hear that maybe for a couple of you, maybe there has actually been something that's come through from this masculine about potentially, rekindling, potentially. But whatever this is, whatever this lightning has come through, whatever this message has been, this contact, whatever this thing is that you found out, it is really allowing you to phoenix and then step into this very abundant path. All right, so then we've got snake. And then we've got the chaser. So confirming that you have been for a little while in chaser energy, or this is something that you're really healing out, and this is what you have been healing out in this time of separation, is really around your codependency. I definitely think that you would identify as the chaser, which would make sense if you're, in your feminine, in the divine feminine energy, that you are in the chaser energy, because that typically is what the divine feminine needs to heal out, that it really is around that codependency, fear of abandonment issue, the fear of abandonment, the requirement to receive validation from others in order to be able to validate yourself. All of those things are all, play into that codependent veil is the word I'm looking for, that codependent shadow that you've been carrying since childhood. So the fact that that's come under snake, though, is that I wonder if somebody, I'm hearing this, so I'm going to say this, is that somebody that was close to you maybe have had a serious impact in this connection. I think that somebody, and I think potentially you've just found this out, is that somebody quite close to you really interfered in this connection, this snake energy, and really then put you into this chaser, really ignited that chaser energy in you, and really ignited that fear of abandonment within you. This snake, whoever this reading is for, you will know exactly what I'm talking about here. I think that this is also pushing you to examine this again. So I think whatever this revelation is that's come through, is that it's really forcing you to go back and revisit this and just really look at your shadow again and say, ask yourself, look, is this really healed out? Have I actually really healed out my fear of abandonment? Is whatever's come across my table, whatever this revelation is this, am I actually going to allow this to affect me? Is what I'm hearing. Or am I going to choose the path of abundance? Very interesting cards. Very, very interesting. All right, then we've got Healing Heart. And then we've got Ascending. So you are ascending through this. So like we were saying, so this really caused a lot of heartbreak. Also, you are really closing out toxic relationships in your life, toxic cycles, and you're ascending through all of this, right? So you're learning, expansion, new phase, also preparing for union. The preparing for union's come up a couple of times here. I think that this is definitely something that you are wanting to happen. You are definitely hoping for union, but I think also as well, I think you understand that union will ultimately happen at the right time. You know, that it is all protected under divine timing, and that, you are stepping into such an abundant path at the moment, and that you are just having faith. Like I said, I don't think that you are ruminating about this connection. And whatever this truth is that's come through, this revelation, it's come through like lightning, that has triggered this codependency in you. I think that you are really just choosing yourself, choosing your journey. You're choosing to ascend, and you are really, keeping this abundant abundant time frame. There was a reason why I've said that. Timeline, really stepping into this abundant timeline. I'd be very interested to know what this revelation is about. So this lightning, might maybe get a couple of tarot cards. I might see what that's about, actually. I wonder if we can find out what that is. I just want to tap into that quickly. Just want to see. I want to get the angel deck anyway. I was going to get this for you anyway. I've been called to use this deck today, which I really love. I do use this quite often. I very much feel like the angels are close when I use this. But I just want to see what this revelation is. I want to see if Spirit will tell me what has come through to you. All right, I just want to get a few cards. So definitely something's come through. So something that has been hidden in the dark from you with the Moon card here. I just want to get a few cards. So something has definitely come to light. There has been. But here we go with a brand new cycle. So whatever this truth is, so this is something that was hidden from you, that you've had intuition about. You know that there was that something was going on in the background, and I think that this has just come through to you. I think that something that you've found out, something that this masculine was gaslighting you about. I just heard that the masculine was gaslighting you about something, and it was kept hidden from you, but you've always had intuition about it. But it's causing death. It's causing you to let go, to start a new cycle. Not necessarily let go of this masculine, but just move through into a new cycle is what I'm hearing, which is what we've got this death card for. And then we had the Knight of Pentacles. So here we go. So confirming that this is definitely something about your masculine. Something that your masculine was, he's come through as a Knight of Pentacles here. So potentially you are dealing with with an earth sign. I was hearing Virgo straight away, but it could be Capricorn or Taurus, but or you could be as well, but I'm getting more of the feeling that actually it's a lot of earth energy here, so you probably are dealing with an earth sign here. But yeah, so just to confirm, so this is something I'm just hearing very clearly that you were gaslit over. You've always had intuition about it, and it's just been clarified. Like I said, which is allowing you now into this death card. Or just one more card, please, just to confirm this. And then we've got Two of Swords. There we go. So that's allowing you to make a decision. So you, for a long time, didn't know which way to go. You were always at a crossroads with this. You didn't know whether you should believe yourself, believe in your intuition. You were being gaslit about this. You really couldn't see which decision to make about this. But whatever this revelation is, whatever this truth is, it's allowing you to actually have clarity here. I think for a long time you've been quite stuck. And just one more card just to confirm whatever this was. Whatever was kept hidden from you. But then we've got the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords in reverse. So that's very interesting. So the Knight of Swords in reverse. In the upright, the Knight of Swords is he's quite an impulsive, charging through. When it comes to his mind and his thoughts, he's a knight, so it can be really quite impulsive in the way he thinks and the way he acts with others. He can be very quick to jump to judgment as well. The Knight of Swords, especially, so he's not quite a master of his own mind. When he's sorry, I keep saying knight. This is the King of Swords. I was seeing knight, so I think that you probably see this person as a knight of Swords. You're hoping that he steps into a king, but probably he came through to you as a knight, so that will really resonate whoever this reading is for. But this is actually the king, and it's the king in reverse. So the king in reverse is really quite an obsessive, can be quite detached energy, quite obsessive energy, which is just confirming what this is about. I really think that this masculine really gaslit you, right? Real King of Swords energy. He really gaslit you here about something. But I think that, like I said, I think this has just come to light. I think that now, whatever this truth was, it's been revealed. It's now allowing you to have this death. It's allowing you to start a new cycle, to actually close something out. I don't necessarily think you were closing out, definitely not closing out this connection. I think that it's just allowing you to step into a new timeline and step into a new abundant path. That's what I'm hearing. All right. You also could be dealing with an air sign as well. So it could be earth, it also could be air. So it could be obviously Gemini straight away, Libra as well. So you could actually be dealing with an air sign. Or Aquarius as well. I'll say it because that is the third air sign is Aquarius. I was getting straight away Libra or Gemini, but it really could be any of those signs. Okay, so that's really your energy at the moment. So that's very interesting. So something that's come through to your table. So I, on that note, actually want to see what's happening with this masculine. So let's see what's going on. Um, we might just get straight into the picture cards. Actually, I just really want to see what's happening around this masculine. We might get that tarot deck, but let's just get straight into this. That's very interesting. Something has come through that you're now able to see, right? Which is actually really positive energy for you, which makes sense as to why I think you're starting to surrender to this journey. I think that whatever has come through, whatever you were gaslit into thinking wasn't true, which you now know is, however that's come across to you, I think it's clicked. It's like a puzzle piece. Like it's allowing you to move on to the next step, onto the next phase is what I'm hearing. So let's just get straight into the masculine. All right, that was the avoidance card that just came straight through there, but I just want to just need to just ring out that energy actually. All right, let's get into the masculine. All right, that's way too many cards. All right, we've already got cards. All right, so here's an inferno. So chaos, job loss, everything crumbling. All right, well, that's very interesting. This could be to do with the truth that you have found out. All right, I'm going to split the deck. All right, so this is currently what's going on with this masculine. So we've got pictures, so regrets, reminiscing, missing you, and then we've got thinking of you, so crying, nostalgia, missing you. Okay, we can't really explain this any more than that, right? This masculine is in a hurricane of emotion over you. So whatever this revelation is, I don't know if this masculine has reached out and has revealed something, because I think that you guys are still in separation, but I think that he understands that you now know this. I think that somehow it's gotten back to him. Whatever's been revealed here to you is that he knows that you know, and this is putting him into deep regret. I'm just seeing my Five of Cups card. So really, and also in Six of Cups, Five of Cups, Six of Cups, real reminiscing, real sorrow. But look, we've got crying, nostalgia, missing you. It's a very heavy energy over on the masculine side, that's for sure. And this is really putting him into chaos, like an inferno, like everything is falling down around him. All right, let's get some. Oh, it's way too many. All right, so we've got the X. So unfaithful, love triangle. This could actually be what this revelation has been about. I think that I think that this person really did put you into a third party. I'm going to say, I'm feeling it, so I'm going to say it, and I really don't mean to upset anyone, but for the right person, for whoever this reading is for, then that will actually make perfect sense to you. As I think that this was what you were gaslit over the fact that this masculine, that there was a third person. And that this is what this revelation has been about. I think that, why do I think you've just stumbled across something? I don't think this masculine has reached out to you. Look, I think that you have stumbled across something. But there was a love triangle here, and I think this masculine made the wrong choice. And I think he knows that very much. I think that I'm just hearing this, that I think that he knows that he chose wrong here. And I think that he's pretty much, since making this wrong decision, I think that he has almost felt cursed, I'll be honest. I think that he definitely knows that the wrong decision was made here. But this is what you were gaslit over. That's what Spirit's telling me. So that's what I'm gonna trust that. I'm gonna go with that. So So we've got stubborn, selfish, and then we've got message. This masculine may have, for some of you, this masculine, it may have come through. I don't know if this has come through from this masculine, though, this message. I think that there is something, as communication something has come through to you. I don't know if it was this masculine. I'm hearing from a friend. Why do I feel like your friend has found something online about this masculine and has shown you? That's really going to resonate with someone. I think it's come through a mutual friend, whatever this is that you found out. And I think it's really validated something that you had intuition about the whole time. But then we've got bossy, selfish, inflexible. This always reminds me of Taurus, that real stubborn bull kind of energy. So I think that a sign, I think, is really relevant here. But also I think that this masculine, this is what he was reflecting on, is that he really was quite stubborn with you in keeping things hidden, especially about this ex. I think this is something he's really, really going through. I think he literally is a hurricane of emotion for you at the moment. He's missing you. It's put him into deep nostalgia. Yeah, it's a mutual friend is what I'm hearing. But there we go. He still sees you as a soul contract, which is what we're talking about. As I'm just pushing my owls out here. Actually, owls might really resonate with you. They're definitely one of my animals. But look, we've got soul contract here. So this is, this is still how he sees you. Is his soulmate, his soul contract. And I think that he's ultimately waiting for spiritual union as well. Partnership union. Like I said, whatever you found out, whatever has come across your table has sent him into a tailspin. So then we've got planning. Yeah, so he's planning a call. So this inferno that he's in, I hope that you can see all the cards there. Like I said, I don't think that he's messaged yet. That this message card is not from him. This is from a mutual friend, but he's planning a phone call. This inferno is pushing him into this. So he wants to come through with a text, a phone call, a meet up. Like I said, though, I think that whatever has come, I don't know if you really care about, I'll be honest, I don't know if you really care about this divine feminine. Or you do, but you're not ruminating on it like you used to. Like I said, I think that whatever you found out has just really enabled you to kind of just release. I'm here, just surrender. I'm just heard that you're finally understanding you're not crazy. So that will really resonate with someone. But then we've got the X. So unfaithful, love triangle. Yeah, then we've got desire, intense feelings. So this is, of course, right, I'm just going to put this over here. So yes, I think that somebody else was chosen here. And I don't say that to upset you, and I think that you now know this. But the desire for you has never, ever gone. And I think that this is, despite, this love triangle, that the desire for you never left, ever, which is to be expected. I think that this masculine tried to replace you. Like I said, I'm not saying this to try to be hurtful at all, but I think that he did try to replace you. He tried to avoid that trauma that you highlighted in him. Maybe this person was a karmic, and well, this person would have been a karmic and excused that, I think, in your ex. On your ex. Well, he is your ex, but in your masculine, I think that this person excused it. And so I think that's probably why the decision was made to really go into separation with you. But the desire for you was never gone, and it never does either. If you are in a true twin flame divine connection, I mean, you can't actually replace each other. It's not possible. So of course this will always be on your masculine's mind. So then we've got stubborn. Then we've got caught red-handed. Just confirming. So yeah, just confirming what we've been talking about. So something that he was definitely really stubborn with and gaslit you about. This has now come to light, right? Like I said, I think that there has been a message that's come through here. He is feeling caught, red-handed, surprised, shocked. And this is what has sent him into this inferno. I'm not necessarily seeing job loss, but I'm definitely seeing an internal emotional inferno that he's in at the moment. All right, so then we've got message. Oh gosh, all of those cards wanted to come out. Okay, I will take all of them. We've got dating, as I try and just sort this out here. I think that that's actually just confirming what this message was about. So dating came up under that. So this message was really confirming exactly what we've been talking about this truth that's come through. About options. I'm seeing the word options there. So I think, like I said, I think a mutual friend has come through with something. Confirming everything we were talking about. We've then got, so under soul contract, right? We've actually got these three. So we've got no contact. So we know that. So you guys definitely, there's been no contact between the two of you for quite a while. We do understand that. And then he's already looking at the pictures. So that came out again. So regrets, missing you, reminiscing. So we've got, a lot of cards here about how much reminiscing he's in. The block, and then we've got guilt. So apology, remorseful, ashamed. Whatever has happened here, he is feeling very, very guilty over it. Like I said, I don't know if that's really bothering you. I think, like I said, I don't think that you're ruminating over this connection anymore. I think that if you had found this out, whatever this was, a little while ago, even going back just a couple of months ago, you might have felt very different, but you've done a lot of healing at the moment, or up until this point, not at the moment, but up until this point. And I think that you, like I said, I just don't think you're ruminating anymore. I do think that you do hope for reunion. You do hope for, that coffee cup message to come through, but you want it to come through at the right time. Like I said, I just get this feeling that whatever has come across your table is just really giving you this sense of release and relief, I think, too. Relief and release. All right, so I just want to see how this masculine is seeing this connection. All right, so I want to see what's actually happening, and then I'm going to get the tarot again. All right, but I just want to get these little black cards here. So how is this masculine seeing this connection? Straight away, I just saw a card that wanted to poke up there. So we've got engagement ring. So we've got engagement, partnership, commitment, and turning completion. I'm actually going to take that because you guys are clearly mirroring each other. I think that this masculine might actually be quite a specific reading, I'm going to be honest, but I think this masculine, he knows he has chosen wrong. He really does, and he wants a reunion with you. All right, how... Also, too, just confirming that I don't think you guys were engaged, but I definitely think that a serious commitment was discussed here. All right, engagement ring. How is this masculine seeing this connection? Please, Spirit. There we go. So we've got heart with the key. So you still very much hold the key to this masculine's heart. So getting together, perfect. Meeting the one. You're both getting the same cards here, which means that there is literally a mirror between the two of you, reflecting each other completely. Here we go again. You guys are getting exactly the same cards. You literally cannot make this up. We've got the snake. So the other woman. So I think we're just confirming here that you still hold a key to this heart, but this is the snake. This is that untruth that has been revealed, that third party. Like I said, I don't wish to make anyone upset here, but for the right collective, this will have come across your table. Like, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about here. I don't think all of your cards, well, I don't know. Let's see how many actually mirror. So we've got hammer. So we've got sabotage. But rebuilding. So rebuilding is generally after a tower, right? So I wonder if something's happened between this masculine and this third party. I wonder, but this is around, so very much after a tower moment, actually rebuilding yourself, working on yourself, really that's like my inner love card. I think this is what he's hoping happens with you, is that he really wants to rebuild something here. Like I said, I think that he has really deep regret over what happened. A really deep regret. He wants to rebuild something with you. All right. One more, please. One more just for the top row. Then we've got karmic relationship. There we go. So you guys really are, I think, other than hammer, because you got the axe, right? So you're currently axing out karmic relationships. I think that he's doing the same. So we've got, so this is that karmic relationship. He's trying to rebuild after this. He wants to rebuild with you, right? It's talking about that, this choice that he's made. Oh, but it all had to happen for a reason. I'm being told to assure you that it all had to happen for a reason. Twin flames, you're born into union at such a broken time in both your lives, and you've both got so much healing that has to be done, and there's no possible way you guys can do that healing together. There's just too much love between the two of you, and you just end up excusing too much. You have to be separated, and you have to go through those karmic cycles separately in order to do that healing. Can be a really lonely journey, actually, this twin flame journey, because you do have to do so much healing and isolation, really, and separation from each other. But this is what he is trying to heal out. And I'm actually being told to tell you as well to be thankful for this karmic relationship. Be thankful, because it wouldn't have pushed you into the person that you are. That it all had to happen for a reason. It wouldn't have pushed you into the person that you are, and also wouldn't be pushing him to do the healing that he has to do either. I'm just hearing that. So, all right, so engagement ring. What have we got? We've got the runner. Yeah, that makes total sense. So you got the chaser, he got the runner. Right, so just to confirm, so you guys are the chaser and runner, and this is definitely a twin flame connection that we're dealing with here. So he's working on his, his fear of abandonment. Oh, sorry, his not fear of abandonment. You're working on your fear of abandonment. He's working on his fear of commitment. That a fear of being tied down, of really that fear of intimacy. When this masculine met you, you highlighted to him all of that trauma that he's been dealing with, he's been carrying, since a child, and that's really scary for an avoidant like that. That's really scary stuff. And the only coping mechanism they have is to run. That's the only thing. They've learnt that coping mechanism from a child. And the only thing that they know how to do is to do that until they heal and they face into their shadow and then learn other ways to cope with things, with life, which is what I'm hearing that he is doing. Once again, I am saying he or she. You could be either. You could, doesn't really matter which meat vessel you're in. This is not gendered. So you could actually be identify with either the masculine or the feminine. But this masculine, I think, has been running for quite a while. I think, like I said, I think that engagement was spoken about with you guys very quickly, or at least a really serious commitment was spoken about the two of you. But then he got his running boots on really quickly. Like really quickly, he got his running boots on. All right, heart with the key. Then we've got mirror. Oh, so you guys are mirroring each other. I was talking about the mirror before, and then there it is. It's come up. So look, you guys both hold the key to each other's heart. You're both wanting reunion with each other. So relationships reflecting wounds. Yeah, look, I definitely think, without continuing to repeat myself, but this is the journey that you guys have been on. You brought into each other's lives at such a broken time in each other's life, and you do just mirror it to each other, all of the trauma. You just highlighted all that you have to deal with, that trauma, but also to heart with a key. You both are holding a key to each other's heart. Oh, what was that? That was wanted to flip over. Oh, I can't find it now. Okay, I'm sure it will come out. I think it was the abundance card, but anyway, we'll see what comes out. Maybe it flipped over and then went back again. That's the butterfly, but that's too many. So snake. Keys on a ring, many options. Yeah, there we go. So just confirming. So we've got strung along, many options, decision, third party. I always see that, with the 3 keys, the third party. So that was that snake, right? That was the decision here. I don't want to keep going on the same thing. I don't, like I said, I don't mean to upset you talking about this, so I don't mean to harp on the same stuff, but just confirming. All right, so we've got hammer. All right, but that's beautiful, right? So we've got butterflies. So he does want to rebuild with you. He does want a new relationship. So a relationship evolving, next phase, healing inner child growth. So a couple of things. So I think that he probably is on his healing journey. He probably has stepped into that. But this is a relationship evolving, right? So just confirming the hammer is he wants to move into, your masculine really does want to move into something else with you. It's just going to really depend on this masculine, really. And what journey he's on. I'm going to get the tarot. I'm going to get the tarot just to see what your team wants you to know here. I feel though that your masculine is still like he's still closing out these karmic cycles. There's still a hurricane of emotion in him. I'm not sure if now is the right time where you would even want to be hearing from this masculine, I'll be honest. And let's be honest, like you've got so much other stuff going on. Like I said, I think that you have got in your pentacle path have got some really amazing things going on that I think are, I don't want to say distracted, or that might be a good word for it. It's keeping your mind on other things. Like I said, I don't think you're actually ruminating over this. All right, and then lastly, karmic relationship. Oh, we'll take both of those. But then we've got separation. Yeah, well, we know that. So sadness, missing you, thinking about you, yearning, unsure of future. Well, you guys are in separation due to the karmics. We understand that. And then we've got hand of cards. So take a chance, risk, being strategic, not showing hand. I think that this is still him wearing his mask at the moment. Masculine still wearing this mask with you. But we had this is 2 cards of planning here. So I think he's on the fence, right? So he wants to take this chance, right? I think he's weighing up what his options are. Like I said, I'm going to get the tarot because I want to see, you know, really break down into the connection, what your teams want you to know. But I think this masculine is really wanting to take a chance here. Oh, we just had a bit of ash. That's actually, it's really strange. That would just happen. There might be a bit of a sign there. That's actually just incense ash. Just as I'm talking about him wanting to take, or your masculine wanting to take a chance. That's really interesting. It's interesting that happened just then too. Yeah, interesting. I wonder. I think he's on the fence. I'm definitely getting the feeling that he's on the fence here. All right, but like I said, I don't know if that's really going to be bothering you too much. I think like like I just feel like you're moving into a new cycle here. And at the right time, I think you know at the right time this will come in. All right. I'm going to do a bit of a, yeah, I'm also going to just get rid of that. All right. So just wringing that out again. And so let's get the tarot. All right, I'm going to get the angel deck again. All right, I want to see what your angel teams want you to know about this connection. All right, straight away, we've had justice and 7 of swords, but let's actually shuffle this properly. That's a 9 of pentacles as well. Let's have a look. Ace of Wands on the bottom, but let's see. All right, so we've got 10 of Wands in the reverse. All right, we've actually got quite a few there. I'm being told to take all of those. So we've got 10 of Wands in the reverse. We've then got the Lovers in reverse. And then we've got the 2 of Cups. I'm being told to take that in the upright. All right, so we'll get, before we get into that, I just want to get the overall ruling energy here. So I'm just going to split the deck and then we'll actually drill down into your top row here, but just to split the deck here. All right, so straight away we split onto the Star, which is in reverse, but then we've got the Ten of Cups. So, and this is what your teams want you to know, right? So the Star is around destiny, and I think that there has been blockages here. So I think that you both do still see each other as destiny, as a soul connection, as that star, it's also around the Kundalini as well. So I think both of you have been really activated to your journey. It's very much like around chakras and around the 7 chakras. So it's that star energy. So I think that both of you have been very much activated to this journey. The star reverse, though, it indicates so that there have been some blockers here, right? And that both of you have had to do a lot of healing in order to turn the star energy upright, is what I'm hearing. But there have been a lot of blockers here. But 10 of Cups, right? You guys really are each other's emotional fulfillment at the end of the day. It's just that you've both had a journey to go on. I'm just hearing you both had this healing journey, and your masculine might be just a little bit further behind the journey than what you are at the moment, which would make sense because typically the masculines they are just purely because they avoid for so long until they eventually surrender to their journey. It really does delay their timeline by quite a bit. So the feminines, because of the nature of that longing veil, you essentially go into your healing journey pretty much straight away. You really start that self-examination process, but that nature of the avoidant veil is that they just keep running and running and running until eventually they can't run anymore, because there's just so much karmic energy around them. They just cannot run anymore, and they have to just stop and surrender. There'll be a reason why I've just taken that quite long deviation there. But at the end of the day, you guys are 10 of Cups. You really are each other's emotional fulfillment. You are the rainbow, or that it's almost like that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Also 10 of Cups, that's in the traditional deck. You could also, rainbows might also really resonate with you as well. Let's see. All right, so just 2 more for the top row, and then we'll get into it. Oh, there we go. So Judgment and Chariot. Well, that's actually a really beautiful top row to get. So we've got 10 of Wands. All right, so this is really, the current energy for both of you, really. But 10 of Wands and the upright is all around those burdens, right? In the reverse, though, you guys are putting down those burdens. So the burdens of life, burdens of this connection. This is very much your energy. Like you're really stepping into that brand new abundant path, yeah? So very much you're stepping out of your 10 of Wands. But I'm also hearing some of this masculine, as he's working through these karmic, he's also working through his own karmic cycles. He's also putting down that baggage as well. That baggage that both of you have been carrying for so long, that shadow, it's like real shadow work. Also, too, I'm hearing that you were both quite overwhelmed by this connection at certain points, very much that 10 of Wands in the upright. But now, we're putting it down. You're both moving on. Not from each other, just moving on to different cycles is what I'm hearing. But then we've got the Lovers in reverse. And it makes sense that this is in that blocking row, right? Is that you guys are divine counterparts. You are, right? Is that you have a soul contract. You both know this about each other. You've been born into each other's lives for a very good reason. Like I said, I think that for the first time you're finally starting to surrender to that journey, like truly surrender. But it's been, there's been issues here. You guys have been in separation for quite a while. You have been the Lovers in the reverse for quite a while. But we're moving into 2 of Cups here. So 2 of Cups is a reunion card, but it's also reunion at the right time. It's really around 2 equals coming together, that 2 equals, the two of Cups. Also inner duality, I'm hearing that as well. It's very much a card of inner duality. So when you guys both step into your own inner dualities, that you will then be united. You know, you guys really will have a union. You will at the right time be brought in. When you're both on that equal standing, you're both on that same frequency, you will have a Two of Cups. But this is judgment, and this is around you guys being called into your mission work, being called to action. I think being called to action, I'm hearing both in this connection, but also both in your mission work as well. So which means that you might actually be quite surprised as to how far along in the journey this masculine is. I think he's very much activated to this journey, but you're both being called to judgment, as in that call to action in mission work. So what are you going to do in this world? Archangel Gabriel, you might also resonate very much with Archangel Gabriel as well. But this also, I'm being told as well, this could not have happened if it wasn't for this connection for the both of you, right? Is that this beautiful judgment energy has happened as a result of this connection. Also 10-10, right? So it's very much the number 10 is very much a completion. So 10-10, you could be seeing a lot of 10-10. Also the number 7 as well, because we're moving into the Chariot. So the Chariot is also, it's really around that concerted effort. It's also around fast moving action as well. So I'm going to get another card to confirm this, but I feel like there might be, it really is, that white horse, that not the masculine coming through, on his white horse coming through the Chariot. I'm going to get another card here just to confirm this. All right, 10 of Wands. We've got the 7 of Cups. So the 7 of Cups is all around making choices, not understanding which choices to be making, right? You've got so much in front of you that you really don't. Like, there's just so many choices in front of you, really. And really, it's a card of options as well, which is really how, you were made to feel. And let's be honest, there was, third-party interference here. So the fact that that's come in the reverse is I think both of you are starting to understand which is the right decision to make here. So you're coming out of that energy. You're both understanding, and you're putting down, get my words out in a second. You're putting down your 10 of Wands. You're also seeing which options are in front of you, which options you should be taking. Not just, and I'm just hearing, not just in romantic relationships and not just in this connection, but just in general. It's very, very much your energy. We've also got the Queen of Pentacles on the bottom as well. So I think you are the Queen of Pentacles, or you're very much stepping into your Queen of Pentacles energy. So she's really, I just had Virgo straight away. Virgo, I think, but this is very earth, very grounded energy. It's also the card of, it's a very committed energy. But I think that you were really stepping into your Queen of Pentacles. Very abundant path. All right, so the Lovers in reverse. Reverse. My words out. We've got the 9 of Wands, but the 9 of Wands in reverse. So the 9 of Wands is really around, you're a little bit battle weary with the 9 of Wands. Like you've really been through it with the 9 of Wands. You've kind of come out on the other side, and you're really willing to take a stand with the 9 of Wands. Considering this is in the reverse though, and it's also in the blocker. So I think that for quite a while, I think that both of you have not been able to take a stand for each other, which makes sense because you guys have been in separation. There's been really good reasons for that. But I think that you're both moving out of this now. You're moving past this, past the reverse into the upright is what I'm hearing. So I'm just hearing this is what you guys are moving out of. So you're moving out of Nine of Wands in reverse. You're moving out of Lovers in reverse, and you're coming to the upright. Like I said, you're about. I'm getting this new cycle. You know, brand new cycles. You guys are starting. All right. So Two of Cups. There we go. So we've got the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is very much that student card. It's about collaboration with others. It's very much my student card about learning new ways of doing things. It's very much like an apprentice card, and I think that this is what you guys are learning how to do, is to step into this Two of Cups. I think that you were really both getting advice as well. I'm hearing that you're wanting to step into this very equal there's really in a duality type of relationship, a very equal relationship. The two halves, when the two halves come together, right? And this is what you're both getting advice on. You're learning how to do this, which means you are closing out old cycles. Like you are really learning, you know, doing a lot of inner healing and really learning new ways of being in a relationship. And not just with others, but with yourselves as well. All right, then we've got Judgment. We've got Ace of Pentacles. So that is very much, and I've just got the Four of Wands on the bottom as well. So the Four of Wands really is my twin flame card. All right, that really is. It's also very much a union card as well. So just to confirm, you know, we've got the Lovers, we've got the Four of Wands. They're all around, you know, union, twin flame, soul connection. So just confirming that for you as well. But we've got Ace of Pentacles and under Judgment. So this is very much, I think, you stepping into your mission work. So this is that pentacle, you know, that very physical. I want to say in the 3D. It's a very 3D thing that's being granted to you from the universe. The fact that it's come up here under Judgment, which means I think you definitely are stepping into, and I think it's towards your masculine as well, but stepping into your mission work. So you are probably a reader yourself, some sort of a healer, Reiki potentially, but definitely it just heard healer of some sort. But you are really stepping into, this is part of your abundant path that you're stepping into. And I'm just going back to that abundant card that we've got. It's the very first card. All right, so then we've got Chariot. And then we've got Strength underneath it. So both of you are developing through this Chariot energy. So thank you for confirming that. So through that Chariot energy, through that hard, dedicated effort that both of you have been putting into your healing journey, is that you're both really developing this strength. You're both stepping into your strengths, which will ultimately prepare you. It's preparing you for union. It really is preparing you both for union. I just don't, there's just a lot going on with the masculine at the moment. And I think that you've just found out something anyway, which I think has just allowed you, that's actually really you stepping into your strength as well. But both of you are learning this. It's also the Strength card. I'm just being, there's also a lion, right, is also in that Strength card. So Leo, so you could also be dealing with a fire sign as well. I heard Leo straight away, but it could be Sagittarius. What's hearing fire sign? Yeah, so just through this consistent effort that both of you are doing, it is putting you both into your strengths, and ultimately, yeah, you guys preparing you for union, truly. But I don't know, like I said, for the feminines that are listening here, I just think that I think this is nice for you to hear, but I don't know if, like I said, I don't think you were ruminating on this anymore. I think that if you were hearing this message, even going back a couple of months ago, I think this might have really put you into a tailspin. But I just think at the moment, like I said, I think you're just releasing, which is a really beautiful energy to be in. It's really good. All right, so I think that's probably all. I'm being told that's really it. I was going to get next steps, but I think that for the feminines, I don't think you need to know what next steps are. I think that this is part of your journey as well. I think that you're focusing on other things at the moment, and I think that you understand that the masculine will be brought back in. You'll be brought back into union at the right time. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to get some message cards. I'm going to get some message cards, which I don't get these all that often, to be honest. But let's do it. Let's do some message cards from your masculine. All right, we've got a couple of immediately flipped over here. So we've got the Ace of Wands. So that's brand new action coming through. This is really what this masculine wants to be doing. He wants to be coming through. Definitely the desires here, right? That brand new wand. He wants to come through to you, right? But then and we've got the Strength card as again, right? He's stepping into his strength. He's going to need to have that strength, though, to step into his divine masculine in order to come through to you. Also, straight away, I'm just seeing the color orange straight away. So you might be wearing orange, something to do with orange. You might have an orange car, something to do with orange here. I don't normally see that, so something there. But we've got strength, so strength again. He's going to have to get over his ego. I'm just hearing ego is still, this is part of this karmic cycle he's closing out, right? There's karmic relationships around him that he's closing out. All right, what have we got? We'll get a few more, but I just want to look at these ones here. If I can get them. Not messing everything up. So we've got one, reach out. He really wants to reach out here. He really does. We've got number 15, I'm addicted to you. These could also be numbers that you're seeing as well. So 1-1, you could be seeing 111 a lot. The number 8, number 15, or the 15th of the 8th as well. That could also be the 15th of August. That could also be relevant. It might actually fall into Leo as well. I picked up Leo before, and I think the 15th of August you might find is, I think that might actually be Leo. So anyway, that will really resonate with someone. And then the number 2, I feel the same way. So you guys are mirroring, right? I also think you're probably very telepathically connected as well. Very telepathically connected. All right, I just want to get a couple more. What have we got? I'm too afraid to talk. I bet he is, considering what I think has just come across to you, the inferno that he's in at the moment. It doesn't surprise me that he's too afraid to talk to you at the moment. But that's part of his layer he's going to have to work through. Oh, that's way too many. Way, way, way too many. And, oh, there we go, one more. Number 6, I just want space. Yeah, I think that he is still, I just heard straight away that's that's actually part of the gaslighting that he did with you. is that he told you that he just wanted space when you guys separated, but it actually wasn't. It was this third party. I think that's part of what you were gaslit over. I think that this is what this masculine is going through. He is really, really reminiscing about the damage that was done here when you guys separated. All right, so you hurt me, but that's okay, I guess. Yeah, well, I think he probably does feel a bit hurt by you. Interesting. He would say that. But look, everything has to happen for a reason, right? Everything. You could also be, we've got the number 69 here as well. So 69 is very much twin flame, and that twin flame, it's the yin and the yang, it's the reflection of each other as well. So just another confirmation here. You could also be seeing a lot of number 69s. Also 769, that also might be a relevant number to you as well. And then lastly, if you can see that, it says, I would do anything for you. Well, I believe that. Also the number 10 as well. So we've got the completion as well. All right. So like I said, I think I was going to get next steps for this, but I don't think that that's right for this collective. I think that you need to just focus on your abundant path at the moment. And I think that that's exactly what you're doing, and that trust that at the right time this connection will come back in again. All right, okay, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much. It was really lovely to, like I said, I've had a few days off, so it was really lovely to come back and actually read that energy. It was really beautiful. So if you have made it all the way through, and if you are not yet subscribed to this channel, then it would be really lovely for you to please subscribe, and also to like this reading as well. Of course, it helps me, but more importantly, it does really help these messages get out to those that need to hear them. So I would ask that you support in that way. But that's really it for today. So I will see you guys in the next reading.